I simply mean to be really free means in a very naive way to realize your potential to find the vocation, what you want, without appropriate education accessible to you. You are not really free. So in this sense, you can see how the notion of freedom today is too confused. You must spend a lot of time to specify it. So that would be the second point. My sublime object, especially the last part, is too confused at this level.
Would you say part of it is because the way I've always read it is the Soviet Union was in the process of breaking down. There's all these, new political dynamics going on in Slovenia, and you were really influenced by Laclau, and you seem to have an optimism towards democracy there that soon faded.
Exactly. Now you put it. I'm sorry. Now I no longer have that optimism, although my friend, I have differences with him. Varoufakis goes too far now in the opposite direction. Like Europe is dead, social democracy is dead, and so on. I wouldn't put it like this. I just think, you know what we need? Now I will give you the formula, because I forgot where I've written something about it. We need a new Socrates. By Socrates, I mean, what did he do? He intervened in a period of deep social crisis. Athenian state was in deep crisis, falling apart. And what he did is that he didn't do what so-called pre-Socratic philosophers were doing. In a way, they were too much in continuity with pre-philosophical thought. You directly ask these big questions. What is reality? Is it water, basically? Is it fire? No, Socrates is simply asking this much more elementary, modest question. I know nothing, so tell me, when you speak about courage, when you speak about goodness, what do you mean? And he is trying to define precisely these terms to make them truly universal. So I think we need a Socrates to terrorize us a little bit. Like, what do we mean by democracy? What do we mean by freedom? What do we mean by solidarity? What do we mean by justice? For a conservative, justice means every one of us should be at his or their proper place in social hierarchy. For us, of course, this is not justice.
And part of what we're doing is, Dave's first book was called Time Energy. My book that's coming out soon is called Capital versus Time Energy. And us being, working class guys, we see how the fundamental issue for us is time energy. We don't have enough time energy to explore our potentials, engage, find our passions in life, to lead meaningful
or to
lives.
even have functional families, right? Yeah.
You can't even have a family at this point.
Right.
This is sorry to interrupt you, but maybe this will be of some interest to our viewers. This is a very important point. People say we are a very developed society, blah, blah, progress. But no, it's the trend in all developed countries of, and I don't advocate traditional family, but people simply don't want to have children, families, and it's not because they are some crazy individualist hedonist. It's precisely they're under such a pressure to perform at their job and so on that you simply cannot afford to have a proper family. And now, my point would have been here, we should not abandon this domain to the new right. We should propose our own theory of how should a progressive family, whatever you call it, look today. Can I draw, maybe this will interest your readers, an extremely interesting small note. I found it in CNN, big media, but it's very interesting, on a weird trend now in China. Thousands of successful business women, managers, and so on, said, I don't have time for family life, I cannot relax, I cannot enjoy art. So thousands of them, it's a trend. They abandoned their highly paid executive blah blah jobs and adopt a much more modest jobs. Like one of them, it was a shock reported all around China, was a top manager of a mega company. You know what she is now doing? She moved to a small town where she is cleaning apartments. It's crazy, but she said it's well paid because they are difficult to find now in China. And it's very relaxing for me. I do it easily. I do it a couple of hours a day. I live a little bit more modestly, but then I enjoy art and so on. You see, we shouldn't say now some fake progressives would say horrible, women are pushed out of top jobs. No, they are doing something, the message of which is very important, I think.